this computer. And we are live. Yes, rock and roll. So here we go. It's 10:34 and welcome agents to our training for today. We were talking about what's happening in our local, I'm talking local, where we live markets. So here it goes. I mentioned this in the email slightly, and so maybe you saw it as well. So I'm driving home. I want to say, I want to say it was about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, somewhere around that time frame. I pull into the community. Now, to drive into my community, there's one way into my community and one way out. It's kind of like a little circle up in there. It's got this little side street right off of Hancock, right? I drive into my community, and First Team got a sign up on the second house on the left is for sale. And I thought to myself, I live here. That sure isn't my sign. Interesting, right? That Saturday, because I think that was like a Thursday, that Saturday, there's a line of people outside of that home to view it. A line literally down the street to view that home that Saturday morning. Cool. It's not my listing. I live right down the end of the street, maybe, 10, 12 houses down on the right-hand side, right? So the following week, on the other side of the street, the third house from the corner as you turn in, boom! Blake Corey's got a sign up, for sale, neighbor's house for sale. I do not represent that seller either. Now, I live in this community. Right? This is my stomping grounds, as you would say, right? And I don't have either one of those listings. Those are the only two active listings that are for sale in my community, my hyper-local community where I live. So I ask you the question, has that happened to you? Has there been a time where you rolled by and maybe it was your neighbor across the street, 5 doors down, around the corner, and you thought, man, I should be getting these listings. I live here. Ask yourself this question. What are you doing to market in your local community? Where you live, what are you doing? And feel free to open it up. I'm opening up, listen to me, talk to me, guys. You guys don't have to listen to me talk only. But what are you doing to market in your local community? Somebody talk to me. What are you doing? What's happening out there? I don't hear a word. So that means we're not doing anything in our local communities to market. So our neighbors don't know that we're real estate agents. Is that what you're telling me? Is that what the room is telling me, that our agents don't know that we're real estate agents? Crickets, guys, crickets. Why is there crickets? Because, we're so busy out hustling, trying to chase that next listing or buyer, that lead that came in, that we forgot about one of the most important areas that we can market. And that's our own neighborhoods. You see your neighbors now. Let's talk about it now. We see our neighbors now walking down the street. How many people taking walks now, right? I mean, you see your neighbors, all like neighbors you didn't even know you had. They walking the dogs. They walking the kids out playing in the street. Like all that's going on in the neighborhood, right? Do we know them? Do they know us besides a hi neighbor, right? Hey neighbor, how you doing neighbor? Do they know you're in real estate? Absolutely not. Do you have a sign out front of your house that says, I'm a real estate agent, call me, want to buy, sell, rent, invest, right? Probably not. We don't see that. So what we need to do is we need to create a marketing piece to our local community, our neighbors in our neighborhood. All right? So let's take a peek. See, we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump onto my other screen here. Now you see that we've got, come on, mouse. I lost the mouse. There he goes. Now you see I've got on the screen here a, let's move this guy out of my way. Move him to the bottom so I can actually get to work. There we go. Now you can see here I've got a, what is an example of a newsletter. Now, we've talked about and had a class in the past about an electronic or an email newsletter. Now, I send those out myself every single month. All right. I'm sure you do as well. I hope we had a MailChimp class on that. If you didn't go back, I believe it's on our YouTube channel. If not, it's before the YouTube channel. And just solicit for us and we can do another one for you. This right here is an example of a newsletter. Now, this guy right here, they produce these for you. You can go ahead, you can go to handsfreeagent.com and they can produce these for you. But we're going to be looking at some of the content that's there and what you should be doing. Now, on the front page here, it says in this issue, they're talking about buying a home this winter cold. What does it say there? Buying a home this winter could equal big savings. All right, that's what it's saying. That's one of the articles that's in there. Cozy up to your new home. Got a little spot there. They've got some puzzles, some Sudokus on here as well. We've got local real estate sales that are going to be showcased as well. They've got a sports calendar for their local team, and then they've got a featured property. So if we're looking at this for a template, it's super clean. I mean, it's super clean, guys, and it's very informative to the community. Now, this little piece here, you'll see on the right-hand side, buying a home this winter could equal big savings. Where do you get information like that? I'm going to show you where you can get content. You don't have to dream this stuff up on your own. It's actually provided to us by Century 21. I'm going to show you where to get that. The sports calendar here, you can grab that online anytime you wanted to as well. We've got a featured property. You're like, well, but listen, man, I don't have a house for sale this month that I can feature. Any listing in the office, they've already said we can feature those listings that are in the office, okay? So what that means is any property, because we get listings every single month, we can put in here as a featured property for Century 21 Preferred. This can go into your market. I mean, check it out, guys. You know, I know agents that are out there and they just started in the business. I'll call a guy that I met door knocking, you know, back before the COVID crisis. And I was talking to him and he was like, yeah, my sister-in-law, she just got into real estate, man. She's crushing it, dude. She's selling homes every single month. Right? And she just got in real estate. She just crushed. Oh yeah, who's she with? Oh, she's with this this team. And she gave me the name of the team. I don't remember. And I was like, I got you. Because you know what those teams do? Those teams leverage those listings with each other. Anybody that gets a listing on the team, everybody broadcasts. Everybody looks like they're selling that house. So we can do the same thing here in our team for Century 21 Preferred. I like the idea here behind these little puzzles for Sudoku. You know what? It gives somebody something to do. It gives them a reason to keep it. Like, oh man, I want to start that. And now you're in their hand. As opposed to just only giving information about real estate, I've given them something cool to do. People love the Sudokus. My wife, she takes a little Sudoku book. She goes to the beach and she'll sit there and do those little puzzles for like hours. I can't do it, but there are others out there who are doing them, right? Those are challenging. On a side note, all right, that's as well. And then we go over here and we've got all your information on the back of it here. This one here actually folds in half. It's a full sheet of paper, folds in half. And then of course it's got your information on the back, the solution for the Sudoku puzzle that they've given you there, and then another cool little article. Now, the question that you have to ask yourself when you're talking about doing this newsletter for your community, first and foremost, I know people talk about cost, so let's just go ahead and handle that right up front. How much does a stamp cost? Somebody tell me. I want to actually hear that you guys are awake. I'm not going to. How much does a stamp cost? Somebody talk to me. I'm gonna wait for somebody to talk to me. Tell me how much a stamp costs. I gotta open up my chat box over here so I can see you guys talking to me. Boom, move this over to my other screen so I can see this. Wow, I can do it all at the same time. 32 cents, not quite, a little bit more than that. Forever stamps, that's the ones you get now. Stamps are 55 cents. 55 cents per stamp, all right? 55 cents is what a stamp costs you these days. I buy lots of stamps, all right? So if I was to mail that to 100, no, let's do 200, right? Because that's what we talked about. If I was to take 100 mailers, right, 100 newsletters and send it out to my 200 homes in my community, how much would that cost me, right? 55 cents, right, times 200 is equal to what? 110. Ski is right on it. $110. $110 So what does 200 homes look like? See, I want you guys to be, I'm a visual guy. I got to see stuff, all right? So I want you to see, what does it look like? I live in a community that's about 175 homes in my local community. So let's see if my matrix is still here. There he is, right there. So you should be able to see my screen. And I'm going to draw a box around my community. Should be able to do this guy right here. So you can see what 175 homes looks like. All right. You guys see me drawing on the screen there? You should be able to see me drawing. This is where I live. Now you know where I live. All right, this is my community here. We've got this cool little cul-de-sac thing in the back. But this is pretty much where I live. Boom. All right, that is where I live. Now that is a very small space. There's 175 homes in there. That's really all that is there. All right. No wonder I stopped sending mailers. Well, Linda, as we know, because it does cost to send them, the return on the investment is great. They say that it's for every $1 you spend in mailers, it's a return of $44. That's just the numbers that are out there that I was researching. For every $1 you spend, 44 comes back to you. So just think about that for every mailer that might be going out. All right. Now, so for me, 175 homes here, so maybe your community is going to be a little bit bigger. What happens when I go back to this mailer, right? One of the things that I'm going to put in here is going to be recent sales in your neighborhood, right? Recent sales in your neighborhood. Well, obviously, if we go back to what I was looking at here, there's not going to be a whole lot of content. This is the last 6 months was taking place in my community, right? Not a whole lot of sales there. So I'm going to have to stretch out a little further to be able to provide that content. All right. Now there's a couple ways that we can do this. All right. A couple ways that we can do this. One of the ways is we can use the MLS here, and we can, let's delete that shape. We can go ahead and we can take a community and draw it around it to create it that way. For me, I live sort of what they call the golden triangle. You know, we're right over here in the golden triangle. So what you can do is to be able to provide data. Now, maybe you forgot this. So I want to bring it back to your memory as to how you get data for a specific community, right? Specific community. Go back over here. I know we're kind of incorporating a couple things in today's training. Go back over to our friend called InfoSparks. Maybe you guys remember him. We did a training on InfoSparks, went very in depth as to how you can use this platform to create data to your local community of what's going on. So of course, I'm not going to get any data in that little tiny community that I was in there, right? It's just not going to happen, right? So what I can do is in InfoSparks, sorry, this is not a training on how to get into InfoSparks today, but I can go into my areas, all right? And under my areas in InfoSparks, what I can do is, you scroll down here, I can create a specific market. Because I don't want just Murrieta. I'm looking at my community only, right? So here we are, we're moving around. I'm not going to just do those 175 homes because there's not enough data there to show my community what's going on, right? At least for me, I want to do a little bit more than that. I don't have no homes sold this month. You know, you want to be able to show people something. So here we are. We're in my little area over here, all right? So what I can do is I can take this little polygon guy up here at the top that you see, and I can grab him. And I can say, you know what? Let's go ahead and take a peek at what's going on in this triangle. So what I can do is I can take this here. I can draw around here like this, draw around here like this, go down the freeway. Sure, why not? All right, down the freeway, hit Hot Springs. That's going to be where my triangle is. Nothing going on down there in Hot Springs. Well, all the homes that are going to pop up in here. Now, I want to just keep it tailored back. Maybe I'm going to come back this way and then, you know, down Los Alamos and then go back down Hancock, right? And then I'm going to connect this dot here. Boom. There it is. There is my community that I'm going to be monitoring every month. I'm going to know what's happening here every single month. There's not going to be a home that's listed that I don't know about. All right? And then once I've done that, I click the cool little green save button. I mean, how easy was this, right? Hit the save button. Now I just have to give this guy a name. So we're going to call this my triangle, right? Got to spell triangle, right? My triangle. Hit the save button. There it is. Your area is 1.7 square miles, includes 2,404 listings. Hit the save, hit the close button. It's saved. Okay? Now that I've got that information, I can go back over here, scroll back up on InfoSparks, hit the InfoSparks button, Go over here. So you typically you were punching in, well, I wanted to know what was going on in Murrieta, right? So you typed in Murrieta, right? And then you tapped the Murrieta, and then there was the stats for Murrieta, right? But that's all of Murrieta. Murrieta's got, you know, we've got some fourplexes in Murrieta. We've got some townhomes and some condos in Murrieta. We've got some single family homes in Murrieta. We've got mansions out in La Cresta on horse property in Murrieta. So that might not necessarily be data that's relevant to my local community, right? So what I can do is I can compare that alongside Murrieta, and then I can go add an area here, and then on that little tab that goes down, look at this cool little button over here where it says My Areas. See the little My Areas button right there? I'm gonna click My Areas. And look, what does it say? My triangle. Boom, there it is, there's my triangle. And then I can put that right alongside my Murrieta, and I can just grab data on that alone. What is the average sales price in my local community? 466, average sales price in my local community. We see that it's up 3%. What is the average days on market for my specific community? We see median is 6. I don't like to use median, it's kind of deceiving, I believe, but let's go with the average. The average is 25 days on market in my local community. Let's look at the months of supply in my local community, 1.4. Let's look at the new listings that have come up in my local community. There are 9 new listings. This is super local information that your community can find relevant. Because if I live here in the Golden Triangle, what's going on in La Cresta is not necessarily something that's relevant to me. I don't really care what they're doing up there. I want to know what's going on here locally. What's my home's value like right now? Make sense? So that's how you're able to do that. And then we simply transpose this information into a newsletter. So first thing we're talking about is recent sales data. And how we got that recent sales data, we simply go into InfoSparks. If we don't already have an area, we go to My Areas. We create an area with this polygon. We save it. And then from there, we can use it at any point in InfoSparks. Now, you have to remember when you go to InfoSparks, this guy always automatically refreshes. So anytime you leave, you got to put your information back in. He's like, hey, that's it. Because it's always going to be live information. So if you ever jump out of InfoSparks, make sure that you go back into and just put your information back here. And again, it's very easy. Go back to My Areas, go on ahead, pick my triangle. And then, of course, there is your information. All right. Super easy. Anybody can do it. And so now, if you didn't know, now you know, right? So let's jump back over here real quick. So we've covered here the recent sales in your neighborhood. We can go over that, put the addresses that are there. Let's talk about this content, because this is probably one of the bigger pieces that we struggle with is, I can get data all day long as a real estate agent about what's going on. I know how to use the MLS. I know how to use InfoSparks. I can get that. What else do I put in this newsletter, right? Well, the other things that I can put in this newsletter, again, is going to be a piece about something that's going on. Now, maybe you get the California Association of Realtors magazine and you actually read it. Probably not, but maybe you do, all right? Don't shake your head, Rebecca. I see you. She said, let me turn this camera off. He can't be seeing what I'm doing. Are you talking to us? You're muted. Can't hear you. No, you're still muted.
I forgot I had my camera on.
It's all good. I'm the only person with a camera on. I'm alone now. I'm like in a room by myself.
Oh, all right. I won't make you feel alone. I'll leave my camera on.
There we go. There we go. So, you know, where you get information, the easier, the better, right? I mean, if we can make this super simple, the easier it's going to be, because everybody is maybe not as creative. I don't see her on the call today as maybe a Gabby. Gabby created a magazine, like a full-blown magazine. She got sponsors in that magazine to pay for it so she could produce it. Phenomenal job. But maybe all of us aren't quite as creative as Gabby or want to put the effort into it. So where are we going to get information from? So we should be familiar with this place called 21 Online, right? 21 Online. Guess what? When you go to 21 Online, I'm going to walk you guys through this, because unfortunately, a lot of people get lost on 21 Online on a regular basis. And so I'm just going to walk you through where you can get this information. You're going to put in your information. your password, all that good jazz there. No, don't save it. And then when you're here in 21 Online, like you can get content for newsletters. Like they actually produce this for you every single month. Like it's free. All right. You don't even have to think. You just have to go copy paste. Go to the Productivity Hub. And under Productivity Hub, you're going to go down to this thing called Access Business Builder. Click Access Business Builder. I'm going to close this tab real quick. I'm walking you through this, guys. You're ready to rock and roll. Okay. And then you've got all this information here. And you're like, well, I'm lost. I'm confused. There's too many buttons to push. All you need to remember is what are you doing right now? You're marketing. So remember to click the marketing button. There it is. And the Marketing Center. Oh my goodness. There's the right answer. Marketing Center. What does that say up there? What is that where it says marketing? The first thing under marketing, what does it say? It says monthly newsletter. Boom. Right there. Monthly newsletter. Ready to rock and roll. Click that bad boy. See what happens. Oh my goodness, look at that. This starts back in November of 2019, and there's a newsletter for every month, right? So you know what you can do? You can go to the one that's current. Now I looked at the one that was current. You can go to personalize that bad boy, all right? And you can add it. You can use the tools that are here if you want to. This one was talking about Barbados. Did you know that Barbados is letting you come there on a 12-month work visa? They're actually encouraging people because of COVID to come there and stay for 12 months and work remotely in Barbados. Like that's the newsletter. Like this is cool stuff. Like you could put this in your
I'm out. Hey guys,
like, yo, stop playing. They are literally saying, but we got to make money. You got to make money. Apparently, there's one stipulation here. It says the program is designed to attract remote workers earning more than $50,000 a year in an effort to boost the country's tourist-dependent economy. So they don't want us coming there for agents, and we only do 1 deal a year, 2 deals a year. We probably don't make enough money, all right, to be able to go there because they want you to have money to spend. So when you come here and hang out, you can't just be hanging out. You got to be, feeding money into their economy. But this is a cool piece that you can put into your monthly newsletter that, Barbados is encouraging people to come out. This is cool things that people want. This is good news that people want to read, as opposed to maybe what they see on, CNN and Fox News on the nightly, right? All you got to do is go in here and copy and paste what's here into a template. Now, again, I know you're telling me, well, wait a minute, pause right there. I don't know how to do copy, paste, build a platform. What department does Century 21 have that helps us with all this? Waiting for an answer. Somebody tell me.
Marketing.
Oh my goodness, there it is. Marketing. So what you do is you say, hey guys, listen, I need to build a monthly newsletter. You're going to create a template. They're going to help you create a template. You're going to come here and grab cool information like this. And they've got more. So I'll leave out of here. This is just this month. If you exit out of that right there, any of the previous ones, you can grab as well. You can get the information. So you go to September. Just click on September, scroll up in September. I'm sorry, that's actually the month we're in now. The one that's coming up. Wrong month, my bad. Go up to, it was August, I think we were looking at. And then August is actually talking about boost your home's value ahead of your appraisal. Again, more great content. All you do is copy and paste. You don't got to think about anything. All right. There's just, I don't know. What did Century 21 produce this month? That's what we're using, right? Copy, paste. Use it all day long. So this right here is going to be your headline article of what's going on. And I'm honestly we're actually in the process of building a monthly newsletter, something that I've been talking about with my assistant for probably about a month. I literally let my neighbor walking down the street. Here we go. Here's another story. I'm walking down the street. Actually, no, I was shooting a video for the listing challenge. And I'm outside, and I walked around the corner, and I'm out there with my camera up. You're very welcome, Tammy. Thank you so much. I'm out there with my camera, and I'm shooting myself like, hey, the market's hot, blah, 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 whatever, my social media posts are, right? And so my neighbor walks by me, and I recognize him. I'm like, I know this dude, but I don't remember his name. And he says, hey, are you the real estate guy? And I was like, yeah, yes, sir, I am, So we engaged in a little bit of a conversation right there, and I let him know that, hey, you know what? I'm going to be producing a monthly newsletter to be able to provide you, information of what's going on locally in our community. Is that something that you would like? He says, oh man, yeah, keep on doing what you're doing, man. I'd like to see that. So I was like, oh man, the community would love to enjoy something like this. So this is kind of what sparked me to be able to start creating this. And I thought, if I want to do this, and if this could benefit me, I'm sure there are other agents that it could benefit as well. But then how do we build it? What do? We've got to have some instructions. So that's what we're doing right here. We're giving you some instructions of how to do that, to be able to provide content that's relevant to your community, that lets them see you are the professional. You are. All right? When they think about listing their home, they want to come talk to you. So it takes a little time to build it. So let's talk about this. We're going to use my community again as an example, because when I first started, I was out door knocking, and I was door knocking in my community for a community garage sale, because every year in the month of April, we host a community garage sale in my community, right? So we've done this this would have been year 4. This would have been year 4 had it not been for COVID. And so my neighbors are starting to kind of get to know me. But in just the 1 year that we didn't have it, I've lost 2 listings already. I'm taking those as losses, those 2 that I don't have, because no one got to see me. We have to continually be in front of our prospects, of our neighbors, because there's a lot going on. And so they're going to forget. It's not their responsibility to remember us, right? It's our job to remember them and let them know that we're the professional. So the monthly newsletter is critical piece, again, for your local community. I mean, you could choose anywhere you want to. You could choose Morgan Hill. You could choose Red Hawk. I don't know where you live. I don't know if you want to target a specific community that you don't even live there. The thing is, you want to make sure that you're targeting a community. Tammy's saying, a realtor is having a community garage sale in my neighborhood soon. She has signs out West Murrieta. Boom, right there. I mean, I'm kind of thinking like, man, I need to jump on this. Thanks for sharing that, Tammy, because I was like, should we do it? Should we not do it? What's the response? I don't know. This agent's like, I don't care what the response is. We're going to do this thing. Eventually, COVID's going to pass, and we got to get back to life as normal, right? So Rebecca's got a thumbs up saying, yes, we need to do it. Is that allowed? That's a great question, Tammy. The best way is to be able to have a conversation. Linda says, also in my community this weekend, Sycamore Ranch. So the question is this allowed? The way that I market a community garage sale is I knock on every single door and let them know that I'm doing it. So I would think that by knocking on those doors, if you're knocking on doors, now again, we say we shouldn't be knocking on doors, social distancing, advertise it in some way and get feedback. I don't want to get fined. Absolutely. Nobody wants to get fined. You definitely need to think these things through. Camus says, we can't even pass out business cards. I thought the line is gray. I'll dare to say that the line is a little bit gray as to what we can and cannot do, because who's regulating it, right? So if you're having a community garage sale or something like that you're wanting to do, if your broker's okay with it, make sure you check with your broker first. Check with your broker first. I'll say it one more time. Check with your broker first, all right, that you can do that. Felipe, are you okay? Felipe's not on the call right now, so we'll definitely have to ask him later. I don't see him on the call today, but let's just make sure that you shoot an email or a text message to him. Can you do that? All right. But check with your broker in regards to that. We're going to jump back into what we're getting covered over here. We talked about recent sales data. That's going to go in your monthly newsletter. We showed you how to get that information, right? We talked about the where my notes at? The featured article that you're going to put there as well. Now let's talk about, there it is. Got my notes here, guys. Let's talk about something free. Do people love free? Drip mailers, give me the golden nuggets on marketing. Feed me, as Kia says. Fantastic. People love free. So as you're building this platform of what you want your newsletter to look like, I would encourage you to put something free in there. Make a free offer. What things can we give away? Home warranties. You can give away a home warranty for a buyer. You can give away a free termite inspection, right? Free termite inspection for a seller, right? Tammy said gift cards. You can offer a gift card. You can partner up with local businesses and give discounts. You can put that in your newsletter. A home inspection. You can offer a free home inspection or a discounted home inspection as well. right there. They just cut it out and keep it. It's got your information right there. They put it on the refrigerator. People love free stuff. People keep the coupon keepers. Oh, they'll call you. The coupon keepers. You see that half off book that comes out every month if you live in Murrieta. We see that as well. NHD. You can give a free NHD as well. So put that somewhere in here for what could be on your monthly newsletter. You want to give things that people are going to be able to use and they're going to find value. All right. The value, of course, is right there. You've got the market data, what's going on in the community. You've got a related article maybe to real estate or just something enticing that's good news that they want to read. Offer them something that is free, all right, because people love free stuff. The other thing that you see on here, we talked about this here in the beginning, is putting a little game on there, all right? You could have a game on there. You could have a color by numbers for kids on there. There's a variety of different things that you can come up with that you can slap on here as well. The Sudoku is really cool because someone's going to grab that. Like those people who do that, you don't finish those like immediately. So like they're going to grab that and they're going to have it in the car. They'll be riding down the street. They're going to be working on it. And then who are they staring at all day long? Well, your face. It's right there. Make sense? So that's something else. Something that we've done in the past is we sent out a holiday newsletter, and it wasn't consistent. So let me pause here. Let me put a plug in right here. This is a plug that we got to have in because the idea is this. This is what happens to all of us. I'm guilty of it as well. We send out a newsletter for like 2 months, 3 months, and nothing happens. And so then what do? Somebody talk to me. You sent out a newsletter 1, 2, 3 months, and nothing happens. So what do? I'm waiting for a response. What happens? Kind of what's happening right now. Nothing happens. You stop because nothing happened. Consistency is the key. Consistency. So you may need to send out this newsletter. So let's do some math. Let's just look at this for a moment. Okay. We're going to do some actual numbers because I'm a numbers guy as well. Let's say that you were sending it out to the 110 people, right? That 200 people, and that's $110 a month. So $110 times 12. That's $1,320, okay, in 1 year, okay? And let's say you only got one listing at the end or one buyer, right? But the median price point is $425,000 times 0.03% your commission, $12,750. That's $10,000 minus expenses there, right off the top, that you're making from making that investment. Is it worth it to you? Ask yourself the question, is it worth it to you to make that investment? Absolutely. It's absolutely worth it, and the consistency is the key to getting it done. Like right now, we started community yard sales. And community yard sales, this would have been the 4th year, and of those community yard sales, I've got 1, 2, 3 closed sales. So that's, I don't know, $30,000 there for sure. I've got another listing coming up. So that's another one. So now we're maybe $40,000 in commissions from consistently doing community yard sales. You know, I do 2 or 3 a year. I think we're up to 4 before the pandemic struck. The consistency was the key. So I encourage you, you got to spend money to make money. All right. So let's just go ahead and get that into our mind, right? We got to spend a little bit to make a lot. You spend a little bit to make a lot. All right. So put together this plan. Our goal is to be able to help you guys come up with ideas where you can market, right? Where you can prospect, because right now we're not doing the traditional knocking on doors and we're not doing the open houses. So what are we going to do? A newsletter is a great piece because people are in their homes and they want good information. People want to know they can go to Barbados for 12 months, man. I mean, when I saw that, I was like, when do I book my ticket? You know, people want to know these things and it's out there. It's great information that you can share. All right. Another thing that you can add to your newsletter. Now, I'm not going to pull this up because I don't have an account, so it always messes me up. But you know what's another great thing you can do in that newsletter? What do people love to do? They love to feed their faces. They love to eat, right? We all love to eat, right? I mean, like good food. So recipes, Pinterest is fantastic for recipes. You go on Pinterest, copy, paste, slap that bad boy. You don't even have to, listen, guys, I mean, let's just be honest. You don't even have to eat it. All right? It just, hey, man, everybody wants that chocolate mousse, whatever, blase flay. I don't know what it is, right? You know, the pumpkin pie, the pot roast, I don't know, the lamb chops, I don't know, vegetarian, so maybe I got a stir fry of veggies, you know what I'm saying? Nobody wants that, but I do. Rebecca's like, no, I want that prime rib, right? Whatever the case may be, you can go to Pinterest. I hope you guys are taking notes here, because all I can do is just feed you. Get it? How we're talking about food, feed you? Anyways, put recipes on there. You can put a recipe on here as well. Drop that bad boy in there, okay? So that's another piece that you can do on here. So we've kind of covered mostly everything that I want to talk about. I want to tell you a little bit about this guy, right? Or I want to tell you a little bit about this guy's company right here. This may be something that you're interested in. They do the oversized ones, and they've actually got some pricing on here. So I held it towards the end of our training today, but I want to show you that these guys here, remember I talked about that number, 200. That's where you start. Now they charge a little bit more. So let's say that you're like, oh, you know what? I like this idea, but I'm just too lazy to do anything. All right, let's just admit I'm just too lazy to do it, and I got stuff to do. So here we go. How much is it going to charge you per piece? Now it's going to cost you a little bit more. It's going to cost you a little bit more for this guy, but he's going to do everything for you. 125 times 200, that's $250. It's cost you a little bit more. $250 a month. You don't even have to think about it. You're going to reach out to these guys right here at Hands Free Agent, and they're going to get this done for you. They are going to get this done for you. And so now you've got a monthly piece that's going out. It's top quality, right? It's content rich. And look, who's the expert in the community now? Who's sending out great materials now? You are. You are the beast. Askia, this is you. Linda, this is you. Brian, this is you. Patrick, Ellen, Tammy, Amber, Camus and Associates, Kim, these are the opportunities that exist for us right now. I mean, just think about it. Look at Brian. Just think about it. If you recently closed a transaction, you think, okay, I'm going to invest $250 into the month. Because what are you putting back into your business, guys? If we're not continually putting back into our business, it won't grow. We got to continue to feed it. And so I encourage you guys to be that hyper local expert in your community and provide a piece of information that's relevant and that people want to read. I mean, think about it. You live in your community. You've gotten pieces of mail when, like we talked about in the beginning of our training, is you drove up and you saw the sign there for the other guy who's got the listing, right? And then when they sold it, right, they sent you a mailer that said that they just sold it in that community, right? But you want the community to get your stuff, right? Because what do you do with that thing? Oh, this stupid thing, throw this in the trash, man. Who's this guy sending this big, huge piece of cardboard in my mail, right? I don't want to see this crap. It should be mine. It can be yours. And we've given you the tools today to make that yours. I want to go back to one other piece here that we haven't talked about or we mentioned in the beginning is the featured property. You always want a featured property. People are excited about the new stuff that's on the block, all right? So the featured property is a critical piece. If you're making this yourself and if you're taking these notes, the critical piece is the featured property. Now, again, you may not have a piece of property yourself. You don't have a brand new listing, but guess what? There's listings here in the office. Agents want you to broadcast their listings. They want you to say, we'd love to do deals here in the office together. We know we can work with competent professional agents, right? So grab any listing that's live in our office is brand new and say, hey, brand new month. We got a brand new listing coming up. Well, pow, throw it into your newsletter. You're ready to rock and roll. All of this right here is able to be done with probably, I dare to say, Chris isn't on the line right now. I dare to say, he could probably get this done for you in an hour or two. He get the template drawn up for you. With the template drawn, all you have to do is just plug in the new stuff every single month. Ready to rock and roll. You spend maybe on the short end, $110 we talked about. You use something like this. If you don't want to, $250 a month. Is it worth it to you to grow your business? I'm just saying. All we can do, guys, is bring you the ideas, and hopefully you can find benefit for them and plug them into your business. This is our goal, to help you guys grow as we seek to shift in this COVID new world that we're living in. There's the, again, we've always talked about the e-newsletter. We're talking about video. Felipe did an excellent job in bringing on yesterday's guest for videos and how we can do better listing presentations when we meet with our clients. This is another tool. We're just loading up your tool belt. You guys will be like Batman. You know what I'm saying? You know Batman's got the belt. Everybody knows Batman. He's got the belt, and there's like everything on that belt, right? Like there's just nothing, anything and everything is right there on that belt. He can get to it, right? So we're loading up your belt so that anything pops up, you just reach down, well, pow, you're ready to rock and roll. Make sense? So, you know, that's what I got for you guys today is the newsletter idea. I encourage you, look at your community, draw out a map, 200, 250 homes. Start right there. Don't try and do too much because you won't do it. To be honest with you guys, we just want it 500 homes, 1,000 homes. Oh man, that's way too much money, right? So pick 200, 250 homes in your community, map it off, and start marketing directly to them. If you don't want, listen, here's another option. I know for those guys are the penny pinchers, here's another option for you. Print the newsletter, okay? Print the newsletter, put it on a door hanger. I think we can put door hangers out. Check with your broker. Check with your broker. Always check with your broker. I think we can put door hangers out. Do you have kids? Most of you probably have kids, or you know somebody with kids. Give them $20 to go put them on all the doors. Boom! Now you didn't buy a stamp. Every single month that kids know they're going to make 20 bucks. Eventually COVID's going to go away. Eventually it's going to go away, right? 20 bucks, man. Go pass these out. And the kids are going to go do it. And they're going to hang it on all the doors for you every single month, right? Now you've made friends with the kids. They're making some money. They're happy to work for you, and you save money on the mailer. You can get some good card stock. You can get these things printed up, ready to rock and roll. And your monthly mailer is right there on the door, right? You just saved the stamp. The possibilities that we can go from the cheapest end to the kids mailing it out for you, to you mailing them out yourself, to, you know, the hands-free agent doing it for you. So you got 3 options that we've given you. We've given you everything that you need to put into a newsletter, so you don't have to ask yourself, what do I put in there? We've given you all the content, ready to rock and roll. Skia says, good job, David. Message for the month, action. Appreciate you, Skia. As well as Patrick, thank you so much. It's my goal, guys, to help you guys be the very best and most equipped agents in the Valley, and to make sure that you're hyper local. Don't let another just listed sign pop up in your community where you haven't at least had an opportunity to fight for that listing and have a conversation. All right. And the way that you're going to be able to do that is something like this, is a monthly newsletter going out, building your business. Remember, we're business owners, guys, and business owners have systems in place to be able to continue to generate revenue year in and year out. Any questions, any comments? Anything that we didn't cover that you want to ask us about? Now is the time. We got 13 actual minutes left before our hour is up, or we're going to end early today. Talk to me. Cricket.
Good job.
I love you guys. I really do. I hope everybody has a great week. I hope that you find this content to be valuable and useful in your business. If there's anything that we can do to help you all, please feel free to reach out. Come on, Associate. Did you say something?
Nope. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
What's that, sir? How can I help you?
I just wanted to ask you a question on these online hands-free agent. So this is a monthly subscription, and you're saying it's $250 per month, right?
That would be if we were looking at, see where we got the monthly here, where he's saying it's $1.25 per piece for 200 to 225 pieces.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
And then they'll pretty much create everything, and you can give them a splash of what you want in it, or?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Got it. Okay, that was my question.
For sure. Absolutely. Rod Ferrer says, can we teach a class on how to make address labels? That's a great question. Thank you so much for asking. I do know that there's some options out there. I'll address this while we have the time. Our title reps, there we go. Our title reps are a great resource. You know, actually the Patty Sather, there we go. I had a lease listing. So check out, this is what happened to me. Lease listing, it really took place. Tammy says they do all her labels. And Jan Durant Corinthian Title just showed up at my office. It was like, hey, here's the 100 homes that are around your listing that are most likely to sell. And all you got to do is take these stickers and put them onto whatever you create. If I can make a letter and you're ready to rock and roll. The labels are right there. Like, she just handed it to me. I didn't even ask. So reach out to your title rep. They make that stuff for you. You don't have to do a thing. Jan Duran, Patty Sather, I know there's other ones out there as well. Reach out to them. They'll be able to get you everything you need for labels. Well, pow, ready to rock and roll. They're willing to help. Take advantage of those resources. That's a great question because, again, we had all, like, who was going to handwrite all this, right? Like, what on earth? Title reps. There you go. Great question. Thank you so much for asking. Hopefully that answers your question, Rod. Anybody else before we shut it down and we get back to work? That's it. Let's go crush it, guys. Have a great rest of your week. Go crush the weekend. Grab another listing. Put another buyer in escrow. Let's get it done. All right? Where is